There are good and bad sides to living in modern society. One of the biggest advantages is that we have more resources than ever before. But is this overabundance really a blessing? Or could it be the greatest curse of all? Let's explore this question. I'm Leo Light, and this is the Imperial Synaxis. From scarcity to too much of everything. For almost all of human history, life was shaped by scarcity. People struggled just to survive. Every extra resource was used to feed more mouths or expand the borders of the land. There was no confusion about what to do with resources. Survival and expansion were the only priorities. Today, things couldn't be more different. In many countries, like the United States, scarcity has been replaced with overabundance. We don't just have enough, we have way too much. Look around. We have warehouses full of gadgets, crates of endless novelty items, shipments of new stuff arriving daily. From toaster ovens to cheap plastic toys, it never stops coming. And because we have so much, we often don't even know what to do with it all anymore. The sandbox of modern life. It feels like we're children playing in a sandbox, free to do whatever we can dream up. Want to build a 17-mile-long machine to smash particles together? Sure. Want to create an entire city just dedicated to gambling? Why not? Want to fill a dome with exotic animals just for entertainment? Absolutely. Call it a zoo. There are virtually no limits to what we can create. For now, it feels like we have endless resources, and even endless time. Too much time, not enough purpose. This abundance of time is just as striking. Many people spend their days sitting at work pretending to be busy. Then they come home and sit around some more watching Netflix or scrolling through YouTube. We saw this clearly during the COVID-19 lockdowns. Almost everyone stayed home doing very little, and yet society still kept on going without much of a problem. Technology and automation have made it possible for very few people to do most of the essential work. You'd think this would be wonderful news, that with all our basic human needs met, humanity would finally flourish. You think this kind of world would represent the start of some sort of revolution in human progress, an age where humanity, freed from the shackles of scarcity, would finally begin to truly discover itself and flourish in a way never before seen. But that hasn't happened. There hasn't been a great cultural breakthrough. There hasn't been a new golden age. Instead, something strange has happened. Our will to create, build, and improve seems to have disappeared. The trap of instant gratification. Why is that? Because today, any desire you have can be satisfied instantly. All the pleasures that once took effort and patience are now just a click away. Craving whiskey? It can be delivered to your door in 30 minutes. Want entertainment? Every show and movie ever made is streaming right now. Need a sugar fix? There are more desserts out there than there are stars in the sky, and it's all cheap and easy to get. In the past, you had to earn these rewards. You had to work, save, and wait. Now you don't. You don't have to do anything. This has led to what you might call the pacification of mankind. Because everything is handed to us, nobody feels motivated to strive for more. The natural question becomes, why work at all when you already have the reward? In fact, working is now totally backwards as a value proposition. Instead of leading to pleasure, work merely interrupts pleasure. Every hour you spend working is an hour you aren't watching your favorite show, eating your favorite snack, or enjoying effortless comfort. So why choose effort at all, when you can keep indulging without having to lift a finger? Why pleasure alone isn't enough? If we were animals, it would make sense to choose constant treats and naps over work. But we're not animals. We have minds, souls, and they need more than just comfort. That's why despite all our resources, people feel more anxious and depressed than ever. We have everything we could ever want physically, and yet our souls feel empty. The fuller our bellies get, the emptier our souls become. The case for work and struggle. So why bother working toward anything at all? Because work does something pleasure can't. It cleanses us. It gives our lives shape, purpose. Hard work forces us to stop numbing ourselves. Striving for something greater is like a detox for the soul. It drains the body, but it feeds the spirit. And right now, the balance between body and soul is completely out of alignment. We spend almost all our time satisfying the body and almost no time satisfying or nourishing the soul. A path to renewal. Imagine what we could accomplish if we took all our resources and combined them with a real sense of purpose. We could build wonders that would rival any achievement in history, a new golden age. Instead of this era of empty comfort, I mean, could you imagine what the Romans would do if they had access to the same kind of resources we have now? Next time you're tempted to spend money on a cheap thrill or another distraction, pause. Consider using that time and money to feed your spirit instead. Mankind is drowning in material abundance, but starving for meaning. It's time we started correcting that imbalance, one decision at a time. Sacrifice a little comfort here and there. Put in a little effort. Aim higher than the next small pleasure. You'll feel your spirit come back to life, one good choice at a time. Conclusion. We have too much bodily comfort and not enough of that spark of life inside. The solution is simple. Trade some of your physical ease for something deeper. Use your resources not just for pleasure, but for creation, learning, and purpose. Just because we have a lot of physical resources doesn't mean we need to be blowing them all on creature comfort and bodily pleasure. We could be building the next Hagia Sophia or painting the next Mona Lisa. We could be striving for something higher, something beyond the mundane confines of material existence. We could be creating something that will last, something that makes us feel truly alive. I'm Leo Light, and this has been the Imperial Synaxis. I'll see you next time.